And we thought everybody would probably be mad at us if we used a really good bourbon or high proof for these Bloody Marys, but we don't care. Bloody hell. Welcome back to part 2, Bourbon Bloody Mary. Take a sip of that. We thought, what would make people maybe a little upset with us?
Ooh.
It's good, isn't it?
Wow.
So we cracked open
That's this?
a new bottle of, don't read the proof.
I'm not reading the proof. I'm just reading the year.
A new bottle of Booker's to make our Bloody Bourbon Mary.
I happened to just glance. That's a 2020 Booker's. It's pretty good.
And we thought we used a regular bourbon a little bit ago. I don't want to say regular. We used Bullet. We used
Bullet.
90 proof Bullet to make our Bourbon Bloody Marys. And we thought, what would that taste like with something that's a really good bourbon and maybe a little bit higher proof that's got a little bit more oomph behind it. So,
well, I will say this, because while the cameras were off and we were just sitting here hanging out and
not drinking,
that we happened to taste, not drink,
sipping,
yes,
samples,
the
full proof 1792.
No, not the full proof.
Bottled and Bond.
The bottled and bond 1792.
I drank the full proof while he was in the restroom. What? Excuse me. This is a public video. While he was taking a bio break, I was
cleaning the glasses so we could do this again.
I was sampling the full proof as well, which is 125 proof. So we're like, what have we not opened from our bar yet? And I grabbed this brand new, fresh bottle of Booker's that we've not opened. And
did you want more celery?
Whatever you had.
Whatever I did last time?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay.
So we're going to use this isn't a completely high-end bourbon, but it's not it's not an inexpensive bourbon.
It's not cheap, but
it's
hard to find.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
It comes out quarterly, but I've not seen one for a little while. And I usually get notifications when my local store gets them.
Normally I can go on to the base, the Air Force base close to here, and that's where I've actually picked up a few bottles of Booker's.
I have
in the past, but I haven't seen any Booker's at the base.
It's been 6 months or so for me, which is, I'm not sure when the next. We have them. That one's from 2020. So
I think I still have a 2019 that I haven't opened yet. So, well, every year, and if you go watch some of the other guys that talk about this and some of the other podcasts, was it Bourbon Junkies?
Yep.
Shout out to those guys. They talked about this a long time ago, about every year this bottle goes up probably $10. So I think that's when I bought my 2019.
It's probably $79.
And then after that, I'm like, it's a good bourbon. Don't get me wrong. It's a great bourbon. But can you justify 90, 100? Can
you justify 90 on that? And don't get upset. Don't make a face because you're going to zoom in on it. When we got Angels and Envy, that's $99. Zoom. So,
are we talking about the
rye.
Nasty, disgusting Angels Envy rye? That was $100.
How's the bourbon Bloody Mary making going?
Let's pour some.
I don't mind the Angels Envy rye. Jeff is.
I would definitely spend $100 on this every day of the week over an Angels Envy rye.
Absolutely. He's going to come back for breakfast. Or he might just be sleeping on the couch with one of the dogs and the guitar.
Okay. Oh, I gotta put it back in the bottle.
Put it back in the coffin.
Put it back in the box. Give it a little stir.
And the bourbon in the box. It no longer fits.
Good thing I have an extra towel here.
So
don't want to dirty the bar.
Next time we'll have to open another Booker's.
And again, I washed my hands
before he went to the bathroom.
Before I went to the bathroom.
It's gonna taste good. It might have a little bit of wine in it. It's good though.
Little uric acid. Stir.
I'll get you some of these fancy heart-shaped spoons.
Isn't that cute?
I gotta love them.
Little heart. So, here's a little fun fact that actually I found out when we did I did a cocktail class at Old Forester. They said, so if you think that drinks are strong, like whenever you make a mixed drink, maybe you don't like a lot of alcohol taste, that the more you stir it, once you put the ice and everything in it, the more that it'll cut that alcohol, and that you will lose that alcohol burn you get.
We did that this weekend. Took my daughter out for her celebratory dinner at Black Rock and got her a foo-foo drink, and she took one sip and said, it's too strong. I'm like, stir that up for a little bit. And it was a blueberry, some kind of blueberry concoction. And I stirred with a fancy little tiny miniature plastic straw. Anyway, and it was absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
Like, we loved it. But
so
she's like,
if you don't like a lot of alcohol taste, or you think it's too strong, you've got ice in it and everything, just stir it a few times. Continue to stir it for a while. The more you stir it, the more it actually breaks that down.
I knew this was going to be an educational program. I wonder if we get educational government programming funds for this.
Who would have thunk?
I'll let you take the first sip this time.
Good. No. That's really good. I mean, of course, I like a bloody bourbon.
Wow, we just added another B to the Bloody Bourbon Mary.
Yeah.
Bloody Mary Bourbon Bullet Booker's.
It is. That was a double B.
Repeat that for me.
Not gonna happen.
It's a triple B. A Booker's Bloody Mary Bourbon.
A bloody bourbon.
It's a bloody bourbon. Booker.
Something.
That's
you like
good.
that one?
Yeah. I did. I need to stir it a little bit more.
That's really good.
That's good stuff. I'm glad we cracked that open. Good suggestion.
Thank you. Thanks to Lindsay for wanting to bust out the Bookers and you know, we probably make everybody mad because we just made a mixed drink with a bourbon that
probably $90
that most people have a hard time finding.
We just used a little bit.
Yeah, just, you know, shot and a half.
A smidge.
It wasn't too over the top. That's the one thing I don't like to make the Bloody Marys like too over the top with bourbon. I don't want a bourbon heavy. I want to have a nice flavor to it. Yeah. I want to be able to taste it just a little bit, but I still, for me, I like tomato juice. I like the Bloody Mary mix and stuff like that.
I like it.
So, but I don't want it to be super overpowering and over heavy. It's just with bourbon, like, I think it's good stuff. Yeah.
This is 127 proof, so it's going to have a little bit of a bite.
It is, but actually that doesn't really have a bite.
No.
So tasting that prior to putting it in the bourbon, Bloody Mary.
Bloody
bourbon.
History lesson. Why do they call Bloody Marys Mary? We'll find out next time. Thanks, folks, for hanging out. We'll see you again next week.
Cheers, everybody.
Is there a little bit of heat? Yeah. Are my eyebrows sweating? You probably can't tell from the video. I thought Smooth.
I might put some hair on your head.
We do a podcast and we take a break and then we drink just a little tiny bit in between because we're both really, really shy.
It's good. Woo! I'm sleeping on the couch tonight.
While you're staring at my pimp patch, we're really going to make everybody mad with this.
It doesn't have to be 1,000 proof.